ॐ दक्षिणास्य समारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमा अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताः स्मर्या गुरुपरम्परा श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। परिज्ञानाश्रम श्रीगुरुशङ्कर परिज्ञानाश्रम शङ्कर सद्गुरु केशववामन कृष्णपाण्डुरङ्ग आनन्द परिज्ञान गुरु सद्योजात शङ्कर सद्गुरु गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Now we are almost coming to the Upasamhara of the 11th chapter. Lord Krishna is almost landing now, and he is trying to see how Arjuna has taken the whole Vishwarupa Darshanam. Now we must understand that Arjuna by himself did not have the capacity, either the vision or the buddhi, to see his friend Krishna. He knew Krishna is something definitely, somebody who is not a mere friend, but he is something more than that. But then Arjuna did not expect this kind of a magnitude of magnificence of Lord Krishna as Vishwarupa. And then he, of course, asked for it. He requested for Vishwarupa Darshanam. But then, out of anugraha, out of compassion, what did Lord Krishna do? He literally gave it as an anugraha, as a prasada. What kind of a prasada was it? It was a divya chakshuhu. Divya chakshuhu does not mean that a different pairs of eyes is given. It means that he blessed Arjuna with the buddhi, the capacity to see each and everything around him as Lord Krishna. It is a symbolic thing. When you say Divya Chakshu was given, it means that he was given the capacity, Anugrahita Buddhi he was given. That's what Bhagwan Shankaracharya says in his Bhashyam, that Anugraha of that Buddhi, the capacity to see something other than what he was seeing. In the last session, I described about Karye Karana Buddhi. That means what? Whenever we are transacting with any product, if we are able to concentrate on the cause, not on the product, but the cause of it, then it is called Karye, in the Karyam, in the product, Karana Buddhi. And what Lord Krishna wants is that this entire Jagat is my Karyam. Krishna said that in the seventh chapter, in the 9th chapter, Lord Krishna said, this entire universe is nothing but that which is created by me. Both my para and apara prakritis together have been the yoni or the cause for the appearance of this entire universe. for the existence of this universe and also for the resolution of the universe. Therefore, Arjuna, whatever you see in this universe with all your five senses, at the same time, whatever you are thinking, whatever you are transacting with, everything is nothing but the Karanam me manifesting in various names and forms. And naturally, Arjuna's initial reaction was what? It was that of Vismaya or Ascharya. When you see something of a large magnitude, unexpected, when he saw Krishna everywhere, without any gap, in all directions, when he saw the whole universe in the body of Lord Krishna, that was nothing but a great Vismaya or Ascharya for him. But then, very soon, Arjuna also saw that Lord Krishna was not only the vibhutis or the exalted things or the glorious things in this Jagat, but Lord Krishna also is the opposite also. If Lord is the creator and sustainer, the Lord also is the resolver of the universe. If there is birth and appearance, then there is death also. If Bhagwan is the cause of birth, then he is the cause of resolution also. If Bhagwan is the ground of appearance, then Bhagwan is the ground for disappearance or resolution also. But unfortunately, Arjuna, though because he was not prepared by himself to see this, he was not able to see the Ugra Rupa of Bhagwan Krishna as Ishvara. He wanted to see only that which was Vibhutimat, which was explained by Krishna in the 10th chapter. But then here, Arjuna was not capable of facing the Ugra Rupa, which is an integral part of Vishwarupa. Now, you cannot have a Vishwarupa Darshanam where there is only creation and sustenance and no resolution. You can't have a Vishwarupa where there is only, birth and there is no death. Therefore, if I am prepared for Vishwarupa Darshanam, then I have to be prepared for all aspects of the Rupa of Bhagavan. If I am not able to face it, then I have to be content with what? Ekarupa Ishvara Bhakti, where I can, worship any type of a name and form, any kind of a devata according to my choice. I want to worship a devata in the name and form of a human being, I can do that. In a male form, I can do that. In a female form, I can do that. In an animal form, I can do that. In a man animal combination form, I can do that. That is because I know that everything is a manifestation of Ishvara, but I cannot appreciate it. What am I doing as a Ekarupa Ishvara Bhakta? I'm holding on to one Rupa as the Alambanam, and then I am offering my worship either in the form of Karma Yoga or as Saguna Ishvara Upasana. But once you have come to the Vishwarupa, then I have to accept every aspect of Bhagwan's manifestation, whether it is what I like or what I don't like. But then Arjuna was full of fear, seeing this Ugra Rupa where his own people, his loved ones, were literally being swallowed by the Kala Tattva, which Krishna explained himself as Kalosmi Aham. I am that Kala Tattva, and I am that Tattva, I am that principle of destruction. And all these people have already been, they have reached their end. They have already been resolved into me. There is nothing for you to be done, Arjuna. Whether you are there or not, it doesn't matter. I have done my job. You get the glory, you get this yashas that you have fought the war and you have won over these people. And I have already done what has to be done. And then in the last verse, we saw in the 44th verse that in spite of Lord Krishna telling Arjuna, Nimitta Matram Bhava Savya Sachin, Arjuna was not really able to still accept this, totality of Vishwarupa. So he literally prostrated before the Lord and asked Krishna to show him his usual, whatever Arjuna was used to. Arjuna wanted to see the Mitra Rupa or the Saumya Rupa of Bhagavan again. So we completed the 44th verse last time. Now we'll go to the 45th verse. And he's still expressing. It's a mixed feeling of what? Ascharya is still there. Bhayam is still there. At the same time, he's also feeling that, my God, I never knew this is the magnitude and the magnificence of yours, and probably I have not been very respectful to you, O Krishna. Please forgive me for all my shortcomings in case I have hurt you or I have insulted you during our spending our days together earlier in our childhood and in the forest, etc. Now we come to the 45th verse where Arjuna is still requesting Krishna to come back to his original Saumya Rupa. अदृष्टपूर्वं हृषितोऽस्मि दृष्ट्वा भयेन च व्यथितं मनो मे तदेव मे दर्शय देवरूपं प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास. Prasida Devesha Jagannivasa is the third time Arjuna is saying, okay, may you show your grace to me, Hey Devesha. Devesha means what? Hey Adideva, God of gods, Jagannivasa, in whom the entire Jagat is situated. You are that. And he's saying it again and again. But what is he saying now? Adrishta Purvam. This is something I've never seen before. And I'm sure nobody would have seen this before, because this is one thing which Arjuna is very sure that nobody else has seen this before. Now, it is not really true, because when Yashoda in the Nanda Gokula asked Krishna to open his mouth, when she saw all the 14 lokas in the mouth of Lord Krishna, that was Vishwarupa Darshana itself. Okay. Then when Krishna went as an emissary to prevent the war, and when Duryodhana caught him and tied him up to the pillars and called his army to literally attack him, that time also Lord Krishna showed his Vishwarupa, at least so that Duryodhana could understand that no, this is something different. But what did Duryodhana say? Hey Mayavi, I know you are a magician. You are showing me your Maya Surupa. I don't care for all this. So it's not as if Vishwarupa was not seen by others, but they did not have the capacity to grasp it as Vishwarupa. Vyasacharya is there seeing the Vishwarupa. Vyasacharya has given this capacity to Sanjaya to see this Vishwarupam. Also, it is said that Bhishmacharya, lying on his Sharashaya, was also a person who was also a witness to this Vishwarupa. But here Arjuna is saying, Adrishta Purum, I don't think anybody would have seen this Rupa before. Hrishitosmi Drashtva. I'm very happy having seen this kind of a magnificence of yours, the whole universe being in your body. But there is one but which comes here. Bhayena cha pravyathitam manome. But still my mind is still full of fear. I am still full of fear. Pravyathitam manome. I am distressed. Pravyatita means I am distressed by fear. Bhayena. Okay. I am elated with this rare vision. But at the same time, I am absolutely disturbed by this kind of a vision which is causing fear in me. Tadeva me darshaya deva rupam. Hey Krishna, show me your Ekarupa enough. I don't want to see your Vishwarupa. Come back to your Ekarupa. Tadeva me darshaya deva rupam. Show me that Saumya Rupa of yours, that Mitra Rupa of yours, which I have been used to seeing. Prasida Devesha Jagannivasa. We saw what it meant. Then how does Arjuna want to see Lord Krishna? He's explaining in the next verse number 46. He says, Kiritinam gadinam chakrahastam ichhami tvam drashtumaham tathaiva tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena sahasrabaho bhava vishwamurte. Hey Sahasrabahu Vishwamurte, I want to see you how? With Kirita, with Gada, with Shankha, Chakra, Padma. I want to see you with that. I don't want to see you with Sahasra Bahu. I want to see you with Chaturbahu. Chaturbhujena tenaiva rupena bhava. May you please come back. May you appear as that Chaturbhuja Rupam. Now here, a question is constant, it comes to all our mind. Then was Lord Krishna in his avatara also, was he having 4 hands? And was Krishna all the time carrying Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Hasta in all his 4 hands? Is it so? No, I mean, this is symbolic. Maybe in his confusion, Arjuna is saying Chaturbahu, number 1, that is possible. Secondly, Arjuna may be wanting to see Lord Vishnu because he knows that now he is the avatara. Bhagwan Krishna has already explained that he is the avatara of Lord, and therefore maybe Arjuna wants to see him as Vishnu's Rupa, he wants to see him Saumya Rupa. Third thing is, as you say, Arjuna was so confused with fear and ascharya that probably he did not know what he was saying, but it doesn't matter. What we want to see here is, what we want to understand here is, it is not the question of Chaturbahu or Anantabahu. The question is here, Arjuna is no longer capable of perceiving Bhagwan Krishna in Vishwarupa. He wants to see him in his Mitra Rupa or as the Eka Rupa Ishvara whom he was used to. All these Sahasra Bahus and Chaturbhuja, they're all merely symbolic. So we have to take them at that. Hey Vishwamurte, he's addressing, Hey Vishwamurte, Hey Vishwarupa Ishvara, please withdraw your Sahasra Bahus. And I want to see you how? Tenaiva Rupena, in that form which I am used to seeing you, with your Kirita, with your Gada, with your Chakra in your hand. I want to see you like that. Because that is the vision of Ishvara, which gives me a lot of comfort and confidence. With this, his request to Bhagwan is put forth. Now, what does Bhagavan say? Now, Bhagavan wants to, he says, yes, I will withdraw the Vishwarupa. Now, understand one thing. Withdrawing Vishwarupa does not mean that Lord Krishna can just withdraw Vishwarupa. Lord is, Ishvara is the entire Vishwam. If Ishvara withdraws the Vishwarupa, it means it is Pralaya. Okay? If Ishvara withdraws his Vishwarupa, it means the whole Vishwam is resolved. So this is not yet the time for Pralaya. So when Arjuna requests Lord Krishna to withdraw his Vishwarupa, we have to understand that Krishna withdrew the capacity that he had given to Arjuna to see him as Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa cannot be withdrawn by Lord also unless the time for Mahapralaya has come. Till then, even Ishvara, Bhagavan cannot withdraw himself, herself, itself, whatever it is from the Jagat at all. It is not possible. So now here Bhagavan reassures Arjuna and says, okay, I will withdraw my Vishwarupa and come back to my original form. So we have to understand that Arjuna's capacity, Arjuna's vision to see Lord Krishna in the form of Vishwarupa, which was temporarily gifted or given by Lord Krishna to him, Lord Krishna withdraws that. That is how we have to understand that. Then he says now, Lord Krishna says in the 47th verse, Shri Bhagavanuvacha Maya prasannena tavarjunedam rupam param darshitam yogat tejomayam vishmamanantamadhyam yanme tvadanyena na drashtapurvam. So he says that Maya prasannena tava Arjuna idam rupam param darshitam atma yogat. After all, Bhagwan is Yogeshwara Krishna, Atma Yogat. By my glory, by my, just like how he said, in the 7th chapter, in the 9th chapter, how he said, Maya adhyakshan, in my adhyakshatvam, prakritihi suyate characharam jagat. I am mama maya. I hold the maya or the prakriti under my control, and in my adhyakshatvam, the whole jagat is created. The whole jagat is sustained. The whole jagat is withdrawn. This capacity of Bhagwan is called as, he says, my glory or Atma Yogat. Darshitam Atma Yogat. By my glory, I revealed myself. You can't see me unless I reveal myself to you. You can't see me. I have revealed myself to you out of my glory and Maya Prasannena. Because I wanted you to know this, I wanted you to have this darshanam. What kind of a darshanam I gave you? Tejomayam, that which was resplendent. After all, Bhagwan. What is Bhagwan? We have seen the six bhagas, Samagra Jnanam, Samagra Aishwaryam, Samagra Yashas, Samagra Viryam, Samagra Vairagyam, Samagra Shri, all the six bhagas. What kind of a resplendence can be there in Bhagwan, isn't it? I mean, Bhagwan is the very repository of all the Jyotis. Jyotisham Jyotihi is all the Jyotis in the Jagat, all the, the lights in the Jagat, Surya, Chandra, Vidyut, Taraka, Agni, anything. That is his manifestation. So, what should be that resplendent nature of the Lord? Tejomayam, Vishwam, Anantam, Adyam. That Ananta Rupa. Ananta means wherever anything is there, it is me. I am there. Anantam. That is why our scriptures describe Brahman as Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. And here Lord Krishna is talking or speaking as Brahman or Ishvara. Therefore, Tejomayam Vishwam Anantam Adhyam Yanme Tvad Anyena Na Drashta Purvam. Hey Arjuna, this kind of a thing, I have not revealed my entire Ananta Rupam to anybody except you, other than you. Okay. Then in the 48th verse, Lord says that, what is the, now in this verse, Lord wants to say that just because you want to see me, you can't see me, Arjuna. I might have given you that extraordinary vision, that extraordinary buddhi to perceive me. But let me tell you that if anybody wants to see me in this way, to understand me as the Karanam in the entire Jagat, Karya Yupi Jagat, what is it that is necessary? I cannot, gift this kind of a vision or this kind of a buddhi to everyone who wants to see me. No. Then what is it that is necessary? That's what he's going to say in the next verse. That is the 48th verse. न वेदयज्ञाध्ययनैर्न दानैः न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रैः एवं रूपः शक्य अहं नृलोके द्रष्टुं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीरा. Hey Kuru Pravira, hey Arjuna, a Veera of the Kuru clan. It is only because of my prasannata, my prasada, my anugraha, you have been able to really see it. Otherwise, na Veda adhyayanaihi, na Yajna adhyayanaihi, the first two words. No amount of scholarship in the Vedas, Veda adhyayanaihi, no amount of scholarship in the yajnas. What is the way of doing certain, knowing everything about all kinds of yajnas. So much adhyayana has been done of the Vedas, Veda adhyayanam, doing this, whatever has been, given as the karma to be done in Vedas. Okay. Danaihi, any kind of a dana that you do, Hiranya dana, Godana, Kshetra dana, Anna dana, Vidya dana, whatever may be, any kind of a danam you do. You may be a scholar in the Vedas. You might know everything about the Veda Purva. Yajna, how to do any yajna. Maybe you may know by heart all the Vedas in the regular Kramapata, then in Ghanapata, and all the patas possible you may know. You might have studied the Vedas. And any kind of a karma, okay, na cha kriya bhihi na tapo bhihi ugraihi. No amount of karma, even Veda Vihita karmas, or any kind of a very ghora tapas, ugra tapas. We have heard of, stories in, our scriptures where people have done ghora tapas for thousands of years, it is said that. And then such tapas also, ugra tapas also. with that also, Yevam Rupam na Shakyaha Nriloke. Nriloke means in the human, in Bhuloka, for humans, any amount of adhyayana of the Vedas and Yajnas, any amount of scholarship in Veda Purva, even Vedanta, mere scholarship is not enough. I may be able to drop references from various Upanishads, various Brahma Sutras, and explain everything. But if I have not understood it, mere scholarship is not going to help me. That's what he's saying. Mere scholarship or any kind of Ugra tapas or any kind of sacred, religious Veda karmas, dana, dharma, whatever it is, in for Nriloka, it is not really possible. It is because I have given you this Atma Yogat. Because of this glory of me, I have given you this capacity to see. And who gets this capacity to see me or understand me as the very Karanam in the entire Karya Rupa Jagat? That is going to be told in the further verses as to what is the requirement of a Mumukshu to behold and to see the Vishwarupa, Bhagavan as Vishwarupa Darshana. So in the next verse, 49th verse, we find that Bhagavan is pacifying Arjuna. What is he saying now? Ma te vyatha ma cha vimuda bhavaha drishtva rupam ghoramidrang mamedam vyapeta bhi prita manah punastvam tadeva me rupamidam prapashya. So, hey Arjuna, Mate Vyatha. May you not have that fear anymore. You don't have to be scared of seeing this Rupa of mine. Macha Vimuda Bhava. May you not have that stabda bhava. Vimuda bhava here means, here Vimuda does not mean delusion. May you not have that stabda bhava. What is stabda bhava? Suddenly when I see something which I'm not prepared for, I hear something which I'm not prepared for, the mind suddenly stops. Stabdi bhava, it is called as. It is stabda. The mind is just not able to think of anything. It is just stabda. So, macha vimuda bhava drishtva rupam ghoram idrig mamedam. Mama idam idrig ghora rupam drishtva mate vyatha macha vimuda bhavaha. May you not have the stabdata of your mind, or may you not fear. May you be fearless, Arjuna. Vyapeta bhihi pritamanaha. Hey Arjuna, may you be fearless. Vyapeta bhihi means may you be the one without any fear. May all your fear be gone. May you be fearless. Vyapeta bhihi pritamanaha. May you be happy and relaxed. Let your stabda bhava go and let your mind be in a relaxed situation. Punaha, again. The way you asked me, when you asked me for this Vishwarupa Darshana, what was your state of mind? You were not having any fear in you, nor was there any stabdi bhava. But when you saw this, whatever fear and whatever that kind of stabda, stunned mind that you are having now, let both the feelings disappear. May you also, may your mind be back to normal. In the sense, Lord Krishna is slowly withdrawing Arjuna's capacity to understand this Vishwarupam. Punahatvam tadeva me rupamidam prapashya. Whatever you wanted, Arjuna, may you see the same Rupam. Whatever you want to see me as an Ekarupa Ishvara with Shankha, Chakra, Gadha, and Chakra and Padma in the hands, Chaturbahu or two arms, doesn't matter. However you want to see me, you will see me. And then what happened? Then Lord Krishna withdrew Arjuna's capacity, not his Vishwarupa. Ishvara is always in the form of Vishwarupa. We do not appreciate it. That is why initially we want an alambana in the form of Ekarupa or Ishtadevata Upasana. Even for Karma Yoga, as a Karma Yogi, it is not possible for me to, do arpana of my actions to Vishwarupa. It is not possible. I have to initially take Ekarupa Ishvara, offer my actions as, arpanam to my Ishtadevata. Accept it as prasada from my Ishtadevata. But then once I develop this Vishwarupa, then Krishna said that earlier also, which he is going to say now also, that as a Vishwarupa Ishvara Bhakta, as a Saguna Ishvara Upasaka, Vishwarupa, and in the form of Vishwarupa, not in the form of Ekarupa, please offer all your actions to Vishwarupa, because you are transacting with the Jagat. Let your actions be offered to that Vishwarupa, Ishvara, me, and then whatever comes, let it be taken as prasada from me. But right now, Arjuna is not prepared for it. We are not yet prepared for it. Therefore, we have to still hold on to our Ishtadevata. Still, we have to do the puja and still we have to do the parayana. All that is necessarily to be done till this mind is prepared for Vishwarupa Darshana. Now, Sanjaya comes back in reporting whatever has happened so far to Dhritarashtra. Probably, Krishna felt that Sanjaya seeing this Vishwarupa still could probably, influence Dhritarashtra to at least at this stage call off or withdraw the war. But it did not happen. Because in spite of Sanjaya explaining this so many times as to what happened, how he's seeing everything, how all Dhritarashtra's children are entering into the Kala's mouth, even that is being reported by Sanjaya. Still then, Dhritarashtra's blindness was, the delusion was so strong that even at this moment, he was not willing to stop the war or put a break to the war. Now, Sanjaya Uvacha, Sanjaya says, इत्यर्जुनं वासुदेवस्ततोक्त्वा स्वकं रूपं दर्शयामास भूयः आश्वासयामास च भीतमेनं भूत्वा पुनः सौम्य वपुर्महात्मा. Mahatma, this Vishwarupa Mahatma, Ishvara, he again has become his Saumya Rupam and he is presenting himself in his Saumya Rupa and he is giving Ashvasanam, Ashvasayamasa. He gave Ashvasanam, past tense. To whom? Bhitam Yenam, to this scared Arjuna. He literally consoled him and he showed his or revealed his Saumya Vapu. Vapu means body, Rupam. His Saumya Vapu he showed. And then this is how Lord Krishna spoke to Arjuna and showed his whatever Rupam was there, which we have all seen. That Swakam Rupam Darshayamasa Bhuyaha. Again, Bhuyaha means again, Lord Krishna is back into his Saumya Rupa and he is showing his Saumya Rupa, constantly trying to give Ashvasanam to Arjuna that he can now see his friend in his Mitra Rupa and there is no reason to worry, there is no reason to be fearful about this. So now in the 51st verse, Arjuna Uvacha. Now you must see one thing here, those of you are having the books in front. From the 10th verse of this chapter until now, till Lord Krishna literally withdrew Arjuna's capacity to experience the Vishwarupa, all the verses are in Trishtup Chandas. So it is said that in Bhagavad Gita, when anything very important has to be talked about, Vyasacharya immediately changes from Anushtup Chandas to Trishtup Chandas. So this entire 10th verse to the 50th verse, 40 verses, which are very important verses, which talk about what is the need for Vishwarupa, what is the preparation necessary for Vishwarupa Darshana, how Vishwarupa Darshanam is perceived by a person who is not prepared for this, this Vishwarupa. It is also said that when you are observing the Vishwarupa, Ishvara, you are also a part of the Vishwarupa. But how did Arjuna see the Vishwarupa? He was different. Vishwarupa was different. Arjuna alienated himself. He did not see himself as an integral part of Vishwarupa. Therefore, the fear. If he had understood that he is an integral part of this Vishwarupa, probably he would not have got that kind of a fear. This happens when you're able to see yourself as an integral part of Vishwarupa, only when with Karma Yoga, Chitta Shuddhihi, with Upasana, Chitta Naishchalyam, with Jnanam, understanding the nature of Ishvara, it's only then that a person is able to appreciate himself or herself as an integral part of the whole plan. Arjuna is not different or separate. He is a part of the whole plan, but he did not see himself as that. That is the reason for Arjuna's fear. Now, Arjuna Uvacha. Now we go back to the simpler Anushtup Chandas. Arjuna Uvacha Drishtvedam Manusham Rupam Tava Saumyam Janardana Idanimasmi Samvrittaha Sachetah Prakritim Gataha. So, hey Janardana, hey Krishna, Drishtva idam manusham rupam tava. Now I am seeing your manusha rupa. So whether it's 4 hands or 2 hands, we need not worry. Manusha rupam tava drishtva idam manusha rupam. Now having seen your regular manusha rupam, not that rupam which I could not make head or tail of who you were, where you were, what you are doing. No, nothing. Drishtva idam manusha rupam tava saumyam he janardana idani masmi samvrittaha. Samvrittaha means what? I am absolutely, relaxed now. At the same time, sacheta, prasanna chittaha asmi aham. That's what Bhagwan Acharya Shankara says in this bhasham. Prasanna chittam. I am happy. I am prasanna chittam. And also, I am back to my swabhava, my original nature of prasanna chittam that I have with you. Whenever I am with you, whatever is the state of my mind, I am back to that. Now, Bhagwan again comes back and talks about the glory of this Vishwarupam and also as to what is necessary for a mumukshu to appreciate this Vishwarupa. So the last 4 verses are the glory of this vision. At the same time, slowly he's trying to sow the seed for the next chapter in the form of what is bhakti, which is going to come. Detailed explanation of bhakti is going to come. So, Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Sudurdarshamidam Rupam Drishtavanasi Yanmama Deva Apyasya Rupasya Nityam Darshana Kankshinaha. Hey Arjuna, Durdarsham Idam Rupam. Durdarsham, difficult to see this. Durdarsham, extremely difficult to see my Vishwarupam. And Drishtavanasi, you have seen this very, very difficult thing. You have seen this. Yan Mama Rupam, my Rupam, which is very difficult to see. Not simply difficult, extremely difficult, but you have seen it. And Arjuna, do you know that Deva apiyasya rupasya nityam darshana kankshinaha? Even devas, the denizens, the gods, devatas, and the, inhabitants of the higher lokas, all of them are wanting to see this rupam of mine. They are waiting to see this rupam of mine. Kankshinaha, nityam darshana kankshinaha. They are always waiting to see this all the time. But then it is not so easily available. This kind of a rupa is not possible to be seen by anybody. Then what is it that if it is not Shakya, then again Krishna says that here, he says, Naham vedairna tapasa न दानेन न चेज्यया शक्य ह्येवं विधो द्रष्टुं दृष्टवानसि मां यथा. So hey Arjuna, don't think that by being a Veda Parangata, by having studied the Vedas and being a scholar in Vedas, having done all kinds of tapas, having done all kinds of yajnas, the greatest of the yajnas, whatever have been, which can accrue any amount of punya, extreme amount of punyas, they can, accrue. Such danas, such ija means such kind of, yajnas and yagas, worship might have been done, but that is not sufficient. No dana, no tapas, no yajna is going to, which we saw that na veda yajna adhyayanaihi, na danaihi, na cha kriyabhihi, na tapobhi ugraihi. In the 48th verse we saw same thing Bhagwan is repeating now. Why? Now Arjuna is back in his normal mind, correct? So maybe Bhagwan feels it is necessary to make Arjuna that no scholarship, no amount of religious karmas, Vedika karmas, no amount of danam, no amount of pilgrimage visits, nothing is going to make a human being capable of seeing this darshanam. So nacha ijyaya shakyaha yevam vido drashtum, but drishtavan asi, you have been able to see this. Mam yatha. In this way, Vishwarupa Ishvara Rupena, only you have been able to see me. Nobody else, no scholars, nothing. Maybe a yogi, he may be a great upasaka, he may be a great scholar, but that is not sufficient. Then what is it necessary? Katham punaha shakya? If that is not possible, katham punaha shakya iti uchyate. So Bhagwan says, then how is it possible? If dana is not going to help, if any highest kind of a yaga yajna is not going to help, no religious Vaidika karmas are going to help me to see or appreciate this picture, then what is it that going to help me? So here Bhagwan is putting the seed of bhakti. He says it is only ananya bhakti that is necessary to appreciate me in this Vishwarupa. So in the 54th verse, last but one verse, what does Bhagwan say? Bhaktya tvananyaya shakyah ahamevam vidhorjuna ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुं च तत्त्वेन praveshtum cha parantapa. So bhaktya tu ananyaya bhaktya. So what is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of ananya bhakti? That means, hey Bhagwan, you are not different from anything and I am not different from you. Ananya bhakti. I don't see any difference between you and anything in the Jagat. I don't see any difference between me and you. Okay, it is, what is it? Vasudevat anyat na upalabhate kinchidapi. Other than this Vasudeva, nothing else is there other than Vasudeva. This understanding, this bhakti, for this what should I be? Not an Artha Bhakta, not an Artharthi Bhakta. I have to be a Jignasu Bhakta. It is only a Jignasu Bhakta who can try to see that nothing is different from you, O Lord. Ananya Bhaktihi. That you are not separate from anything. You are not separate from me. You are not separate from anything that is there. And that commitment and that understanding, the commitment to know this, that you are not different, separate from anything. You are everything. This capacity to understand this on the part of a Jignasu Bhakta, committed in knowing me in this way, this is called as Ananya Bhaktihi. So Bhaktya tu Ananyaya Shakyaha. It is only Ananya Bhakti that can really help you. Aham yevam vidha Arjuna. Ananya Bhakti with me. It is not, don't see me as different from yourself. I'm not the Upasya, you're not the Upasaka. Yes, Ekarupa Ishvara Darshana, I will see like that. But then, this capacity to understand, try to see me as non-different from everything else and from yourself. This commitment in knowing, in understanding by the Shastra, from the Guru, by what I'm teaching you in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, this is what is necessary to see me. See, what Krishna says is, even a Jignasu Bhakta, when he understands this with Ananya Bhakti, he may not see all this picturesque or symbolic, imagery that was given. That big imagery for 40 verses, how Krishna looked, how many bahus he had, how many udaras he had. We may not be able to see all that, but then what is it that we understand? What is it that a Jignasu Bhakta understands? Karye Karana Buddhi. Everything that is there is not different from Ishvara. Anything that exists, including me, is not different from Ishvara. Either it is Ishvara's Prakriti or Apara Prakriti. By name and form, Nama Rupataya, it is a manifestation of the matter principle, Apara Prakriti, as that consciousness within everything that is there in this Jagat. It is para prakriti of Ishvara. Without the para apara prakriti, nothing else, nothing can exist, nothing is there. This understanding is the understanding of a Jignasu Bhakta. And therefore he says it is only this. And a Jignasu Bhakta also is not capable of understanding it immediately. It requires years, lives and lives of, Jignasa to know this through the Shastras, through the Guru, through continuous commitment to knowing this. That is what is meant by Ananya Bhakti. Committed to me, committed to knowing me. I will not leave till I know your Swarupam. I will not leave this. This is what it is. So this Ananya Bhakti only Jnatum Drishtum Cha Tatvena. Tatvena Jnatum. Drishtum, what I am, Tatvena, that I am the very Karanam of this entire Karya Prapancha, that's the Tattvam. What is the reality of this Jagat? What is the Tattvam of this Jagat? What is the Saram of this Jagat? It is nothing but me, Ishvara. If that is understood, then Tatvena Praveshtim Pumcha Parantapa. It is only this Ananya Bhakti which is going to help a Jignasu to know me Tattvataha. And then ultimately, now the final verse, the 55th verse, one of the big chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Now, Lord Krishna summarizes the entire ladder of Mumukshu in the form of the 3 stages or levels of bhakti. Here, Lord wants to say that bhakti is not a separate sadhana. Bhakti is a sadhana in and through every step of the Mumukshu sadhana. As a karma yogi, he has to be a bhakta. Otherwise, he can't offer his actions to Ishvara. As an upasaka, he has to be a bhakta. As a jnana yogi, he has to be a bhakta. As a karma yogi, as an upasana yogi, as a jnana yogi, as a nididhyasaka, he has to be nothing but what? He has to be a bhakta. There is absolutely no sadhana without bhakti. Bhakti is an integral, inseparable part of every step of sadhana. That is what is going to be discussed in 5 levels in the next chapter in the Bhakti Yoga. Whereas here, the 11th chapter is concluded by Lord Krishna, where a bhakta's or a mumukshu's entire journey is divided into 3 stages of bhakti. So what does he say? Mat karma krit mat paramaha mad bhaktah sanga varjitaha nirvairah sarva bhuteshu yah samameti pandava. Hey Arjuna, hey Pandava, first stage, Karma Yoga, Mat Karma Krit. The one who does all his actions offers them as worship to me. As a Karma Yogi, he is my Bhakta. Mad Bhaktaha, then Sangavarjitaha. Later on, he withdraws all the other things and tries to see me as the very Vishwarupa Ishvara Bhakta by Upasana. Saguna Ishvara Upasanataya, he tries to understand me initially as Ekarupa with an Alambanam, with one Alambanam, then as Vishwarupa. Either maybe taking Omkara as the Alambanam for Saguna Ishvara or seeing Karanam in the Karyam. So this is the upasaka, who's trying to see me, worship me as an upasaka. He should be a bhakta. Without having Ishvara in my life, every minute, I cannot be a sadhaka. I cannot be a mumukshu. If moksha is my purushartha, starting from the choosing of purushartha moksha, I have to be a bhakta. It's a question of whether I'm going to be an artha bhakta or an artharthi bhakta or a jignasu bhakta or jnani bhakta. Already Krishna has talked about sthita prajna. And Krishna is not interested in giving this teaching to a jnani bhakta because he already has gone beyond it. Then this teaching is for whom? It is for, a jignasu bhakta, for a madhyama adhikari, or for a lower adhikari who are not able to see this. So he is saying that at every step, even a jnani, he is my parama bhakta, he says. Why? Because he is not different from me. He does not see me as different from him as a jnani. So at every step, from an ajnani to a jnani, the entire journey of a sadhaka, the entire journey of a mumukshu is nothing but that of bhakti. There is no single step without bhakti in everything that a sadhaka is doing to reach his ultimate goal. We have to use this word. There's nothing called reaching. To understand his ultimate goal of moksha. Here, initially, a person may use Ishvara as a means to get his, finite worldly ends. But then ultimately, as a Jignasu Bhakta, the Mumukshu uses Ishvara as a means, and Ishvara also is his end. Ishvara becomes both the means and the end. Therefore, tell me where there is no bhakti. At every level, connecting with Ishvara, surrendering to Ishvara, understanding that without that grace of Ishvara, even my self effort alone is not sufficient. At every step, the connection with Ishvara, this is what is called as bhakti. And what he says is mat karma, mat karma krit, mat paramo bhaktaha, sangavarjitaha, and ultimately the jnani bhakta, karma yogi bhakta, then upasaka bhakta, then nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu. He's going to take that as a very important description of a jnani bhakta. Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna evacha. He's going to talk about that in the 12th chapter. So nirvairaha, no vairis anywhere. Others may take him as a vairi. It's okay. But he does not have a vairatva bhava. Even in people who are harming him, even in people who don't like him, he does not have any vairatva bhava. Nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu, the third step, the jnani bhakta. So, as a karma yogi, starting the first level of bhakti as karma yogi, here also Bhagwan is going to divide it into two steps in the 12th chapter. And then an upasaka, Saguna Ishvara upasaka. Again in the 12th chapter, he's going to divide it into two more stages. And finally, the Jnani Bhakta. So the three stages of bhakti as a karma yogi, as an upasaka, as a Jnana yogi. This is the journey of a mumukshu towards the goal of understanding Ishvara as what? Not different from me. Manmana bhava, madbhakto bhava, madhyaji bhava, mam namaskuru. We saw that at the end of the 34th verse, the last verse of the 9th chapter. This is almost a similar verse, that all the stages of a mumukshu's, journey to moksha purushartha has been described in both these verses, the 34th verse of 9th chapter and the 55th verse. So meti saha, he comes to me, or he becomes one with me, or he reaches me. These are all the words that Shastra has to use. There's no question of reaching anywhere. Moksha is not reaching anywhere. Moksha is not getting something. Moksha is understanding that whatever is there is this Ishvara, and I am that Ishvara. This is Mameti, or Upaiti, or Yati. All these things Krishna has to use. He comes to me, he gets moksha. All these are aupacharika words. There is only thing what he wants to say is the goal of moksha purushartha is literally understood, taken care of, and it is attained by this person. So, may Arjuna, this is what I need. Bhakti at every step. No amount of anything else is going to really help anyone to see me in this way. Ultimately, I want everybody to become a karma yogi and then an upasaka, gradually uplift and then become one with me as a jnani bhakta. So with this, the Vishwarupa Darshana topic is over. Om Tat Satiti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Vishwarupa Darshana Yogo Nama Ekadashodhyayah. So here we have completed the 11th chapter, and from the next session we'll go to the one of the most beautiful chapters of Bhagavad Gita, that is Dvadashodhyayah. And I remember our Puja Sadyojat Shankarashram Swamiji during one Chaturmas, so beautifully he had taken this whole chapter, and let us see how much justice I can do to this chapter from the next session. ॐ नन्दन्तु साधका सर्वे विनश्यन्तु विदूषकाः अवस्थाशाम्भवी मेस्तु प्रसन्नोऽस्तु गुरुः सदा सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमाप्नुयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय.